Okay. Sorry about that, guys. As I've told you several times over the last, I don't know, 2 to 3 weeks, every couple days, my computer will crash. And it's only been happening for a while. And on the 1st of the month, I'm ordering an SSD hard drive and reinstalling everything, and that will solve this issue as soon as I get things reinstalled. Though, as you guys have seen, before I bring in Jim Panda and George for the second part of tonight's discussion, and we're going to get into the heavy stuff. The heavy stuff is coming up. This clip just infuriates me that we just watched when we crashed. I was in the middle of a crazy reaction, and then my computer cut out. But I want you to understand why I have copied JG Gonzalez's thumbnail and the format of his show, which is this room. I want you to understand why I did this. I'm not being mean, okay? I'm not trying to be rude. I'm responding to the clip that he did in a funny way. I just think it's a funny way to respond to his clip. And the best way, in my opinion, to handle these types of issues is with a little bit of really creative comedy. And I've always found that when two people, for some reason, I don't have a problem with him at all, I'm just telling you. But when someone has a disagreement with someone else, or with me in particular, I find that if I find a really creative way to make a joke about the entire issue, that it'll diffuse the issue. The other person literally will laugh at it and be like, okay, that's funny. And then that will kind of squash the stuff. That's what I want to have happen. Contrary to popular belief, I do not want problems in the community. So let me play a little bit of the clip that that Jose did so that you know I'm not just picking on the guy. And I hope you see my perspective and say to yourself, you know, I can respect that. Instead of fighting or instead of taking a shot at him, he's just trying to roll with it and do a funny response. Anyway, so here's what it is. Right after this clip, Jim Panda and George will be right back in here with us, and we're going to start right where we left off, which, ironically, gets into the more negative and more insane parts of the community that we're talking about.
Talking, all right, I'm gonna take a minute to speak. All right, so some people is talking like, hey, share this link, and then somebody, people is sharing a UNIRock link talking about the Nathan Oakley shenanigans, right? I'm not gonna play anything from UNIRock. UNIRock channel is a drama, soap opera, bullshit channel, worthless. So people like UNIRock, they take content from a real deal panel like this, where people come in to talk about the stuff, what's going on. This is not drama. This is where you guys are real people interacting with each other. Now, there's other channels, they take my content and then they sit behind the content. They say, we're going to talk about what went down in a stream and I'm going to make it a drama thing. Do you consider this drama? No, guys, think about it. This is where the real people click and join. Who has balls and the pants in their places coming to panels like this to sort the shit out. Now, there's pussies like UNIRock that they take the content and just sit behind the keyboard and it's like, ha ha ha, look, I'm exposing everybody. Fuck y'all. Carry on, guys.
I was surprised because Nathan Thompson was there. Other people were there on his show and he said this. They didn't care to respond, which I thank you for that. When it comes to him, though, I am not going to entertain this, and I hope you don't either. I don't have an issue with him. God knows why he said it, and I'm not going to do anything but laugh. Okay, now let's bring in our guests, who I'm so happy to have. Two people that have been experiencing this community and doing what I consider the best they can do to be honest and do a good job in documenting what's going on. Jim Panda and George, we're going to bring them right in. So let's just go ahead and get there, and then we're going to watch the end of this clip. So here's what happened. My computer crashed when we were watching Authentic Intent. Yes, he is the flat earther who has been in prison for R-ing a 14-year-old and girl. And he got out of prison and started doing street activism, and I criticized him for, ironically, having all of his street activism be right next to schools or on campus. So anyway, let's go ahead and unmute George and Jim. George, Jim, thanks for jumping it back in with me, guys. Sorry about the crash. I'm getting that fixed.
Glad to be with you.
So frustrating when your computer crashes. Okay,
Right,
I want to
I've
get
been
into
there,
I want to get into the heavy parts of the flat Earth and the negative effects of it on people. So let's start off by finishing the clip that we started. I'm only going to go to the end. And honestly, I have not seen this clip, and I am appalled at this.
If you have something that faces straight down, let them watch the hockey game, man. And then it moves.
Yeah, I did. I did pay for a ticket. We don't live on a spinning ball, okay, ma'am? Hey, that's cool, man. I am grown up. That's why I'm here. You should grow up. You're wearing somebody else's name on your shirt. So, all right, guys. Well, have a good afternoon. Have a good, safe trip home.
Hey, we will.
All right.
You too.
And Santa Claus isn't real, okay?
If you say that one more fucking time, I will fucking deck you. Do you understand me?
You're on camera, sir. Lie to your kids some more.
Hi, YouTube.
All right, Jim Panda, before I say anything, I'm going to let you jump in because I will fucking just cuss this guy out.
Right. I mean, it's just disgraceful behavior. And I think he's tried to flat smack the guy. The guy won't take him seriously and just sort of giggles at him. And so this is his way of hitting back at him. And he does something that he knows will be hurtful. And it's really just really juvenile and just vile behavior, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
What
dude.
more can you say?
I would have I probably would have decked him, honestly, because when my kid was that age, man, like, I could imagine that guy, like, thinking forever, like, that freaking flat dummy said that to my kid at age of 7 years old. Like, it would just always get in my head at Christmas time, and I'd get angry.
Right. It would be awful, wouldn't it? And imagine if you'd got to go back home to your wife.
Oh.
So,
Yes.
no, he's been, you know, this guy said this thing about Santa, you know, it would be horrible for him, you know, it's...
And he uploaded that, right, on his channel.
Yeah,
like he was proud.
of it. Yeah.
God, I don't understand. Everybody that watches him, I don't care I don't even care that you're a flatty. The fact that you would watch somebody like him is just despicable. Just despicable to support a guy like that.
He's another one, actually, that had his phone thrown away. I don't know whether you've ever seen that clip.
I think I did. Wasn't it in a park?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, that's more recent. Yeah, yeah. But anyway, I mean, there's other instances in this video of basically, you know, you see Mark Sargent, for instance, answering a question at the first Flat Earth convention from a 12-year-old kid. And there's, you know, there's various instances of this. Flat Earthers plotting to do flat smacking outside schools and things like that, which is really, you know, at the end of the day, however much they believe this, you know, they know why and how they believe it. They know it's from, you know, nobody's on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know? And you know, there should be something there saying maybe it's, you know, maybe it's not quite ready to be giving this to children yet, you know?
Yeah, well, we have one that keeps showing up on your server there, Jim. This Earth is seriously flat. There's something seriously wrong with that, man.
Rene, that guy, yes.
Yeah. I wonder if he's the one I talked to, because there was one talking to me a couple days ago when I first came into your server.
Yeah, he has kind of a creepy voice.
Yeah, and he talks about globutions quite a lot. I'll give you globution. Is
this him? Is this the guy?
Hey, Top
yeah,
Hill
this is it. Yeah, that's it.
Park. We're here doing street activism.
Yeah, that wasn't him. I didn't talk to him. Yeah,
if you
I
ever
didn't
see,
talk to that guy.
there's some video when Behind the Curve came out, and they did a premiere thing in Hollywood somewhere. And a load of flat earthers went down there, and some of them went in and watched it, and there was some outside. Dan the Waterman, for instance, was outside. And they managed to get that Daniel Clark, who was the producer of the movie, they actually got him on camera and did a little interview with him, which they were, you know, streaming into a hangout on YouTube. And that Rene guy was there, and he'd obviously had a bit to drink. And while they're doing this interview, he comes and sort of puts his arm around Daniel Clark, the producer, and starts berating him for calling the movie Behind the Curve, because we're ahead of the curve in Flat Earth, and you shouldn't have called it. And this Daniel Clark, he basically at that point he just ducks away and disappears really quickly. He looks, worried.
Oh yeah.
I actually interviewed him on my Sunday show. I actually got the whole production team. It was a bit of a coup for me, that was. I actually got them to come on my show, and I interviewed them all.
The Behind the Curve team.
Yeah, I did.
Wow.
That's on my other channel, which is called Debate Flat Earth and More, on my Gems Flat Earth Sunday Roast. So I'm really, really plugging my stuff here, but that's what you're supposed to do when you're a guest.
No, please do. Yes, yeah, plug it.
Here's my latest book.
Plug it, buddy. Plug it. Guys, go sub to these two. I'm telling you, they do great work. I am impressed by your level of. What do you do? Do you use, Adobe Premiere? What do you use to edit? I just have to ask.
Premiere mostly, and I do quite a bit in After Effects as well.
I can tell. Yeah.
Some of my earlier stuff, like for instance, the one I did, which is called "How I Know We Went to the Moon," which is it's almost 2-hour documentary, which presents positive evidence for the Apollo moon landings, rather than all the, looking at shadows pointing the wrong way and flags waving and stuff. I don't bother with any of that. I just say these are the reasons why we can show that we went, and in that I did that almost totally in After Effects, because it's almost all graphical, So, and After Effects I find very good for moving graphics around accurately and quickly.
Yeah, you really are, dude. What's the name of that one?
It's called How I Know We Went to the Moon. That one, yeah.
I see the light version here. Is that just a shorter version?
Yeah. Well, because it's a 2-hour documentary, it's a bit challenging for most people. But yeah, I did a light version of it as well, which tells the story just the same way. But it's a good place to start. And if you feel that you need more detail after that, well, you can go and watch the bigger one.
So tell me this, Jim Panda, because I just talked about this topic. We had on Fight to Flat Earth, Ace is a moon landing denier, and he was debating Fight. So what are your top reasons, your top pieces of evidence to show that we did go? What would you say?
Well, my answer to that question which always gets a laugh, at least, especially from the Flat Earthers, is we watched it. And I don't mean on TV. What I mean is there are hundreds and hundreds of reports from astronomers around the world that watch these spacecraft go all the way to the moon and back again. I mean, not single-handedly, different people saw them at different times, but there are so many of these accounts, and they come from all different, professional astronomers, amateur astronomers, people just getting off the bus, or some of the space operations in Earth orbit. And there's just so much of airline pilots, whole plane loads full of passengers, saw re-entries and things like that. It's just so much of that, just earthbound observations of it. Because don't forget, Apollo, when it went to the moon, it's a small constellation of 6 objects, actually, when it's traveling to the moon. So it's not an easy thing to spot, but it's recognizable, it's so, and I think that tells us that spacecraft, something of that configuration, went to the moon. And then if we want to show that men were on it, well, obviously there's the retro reflectors. I know Ace made the argument that Russians put them there without, remotely, and that's true, they did. Although, the one that he showed was lost for like 30, 40 years until the Americans found it again with the Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter. But I think the big thing is the rocks, the lunar rocks. And, NASA have got a website that nobody knows about called Curation Lunar, which manages their moon rocks. And anyone can go on there and apply to get a moon rock. I mean, probably you and I wouldn't get one, but if we were a high school teacher, we could get a moon rock and on loan from NASA, and we could subject that moon rock to any sort of non-destructive testing like X-rays or anything like that that would tell us about its, the origins of that rock.
Yeah.
And there's a big difference between Earth rocks and moon rocks, because Earth rocks are always formed in the presence of water, and moon rocks are never formed in the presence of water, or at least not where we've explored on the moon. So, and that makes a big difference in the way that, that even a layman can see in the way that the rock is formed when you look at it under a microscope. But anyway, NASA had thousands of microscope slide samples of all these rocks. As I say, they're not that difficult to get hold of. Americans can get hold of them. And I think that's the best evidence, really, because to have that quantity of rock and still be able to produce, every year they give out so many pristine samples that have, never been used before. To have all that rock, I mean, the Russians never got close to that. They returned a sample, but it was a very, very, a few grams of soil, whereas the Americans brought back, 400 pounds of moon rock, 400 kilograms, I think, of moon rock. I mean, a lot of it.
Definitely, man. Like one of my, before we get back to discussing the community around flat Earth and all that crazy stuff there, the people that went to the moon, a couple of them died from pretty severe cancers. And, the worst argument, they act like it's their ace in the hole about going through the Van Allen radiation belt. And, it most likely did, the Van Allen most likely killed several astronauts. And then there was one that I believe it was an astronaut was permanently blinded, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe he was temporarily blinded, but
I think temporarily, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and I think most people misunderstand it because they hear radiation and they think Chernobyl, and it's not X-rays and gamma rays; it's high energy particles from the sun, and it's still dangerous. It's still very dangerous to us, but it's dangerous in a somewhat of a different way, and people think they're going to need the same they're going to need lead protection and stuff like that, and that's not what you need with these high energy particles, because if you have heavy dense metals like that, then when these particles hit them, you have this effect of other particles being thrown off from the metal, and that makes them, and then you get X-rays. Oh, sorry, it's X-rays that come off. George will correct me here, but they call it Bremsstrahlung, that effect. So you don't want heavy metal to protect you in space. You want things with a lot of hydrogen atoms in them. Because
actually, one of the best shields you have against radiation is water.
Yeah.
What you do, like on board the ISS and future designs, like in the Orion project, is you purposely have your water supply in the walls. So that you have sort of a safe room to go to where you're surrounded by water, and radiation from the sun, like these high energy events, are constantly monitored, and you have sufficient time. It takes several days for these particles from the sun to reach the Earth. So they warn the astronauts and they go into these safe areas until the high energy event passes.
Right. And it was heavily monitored during Apollo as well. They had people monitoring that, so in case there were solar flares.
What's important when it comes to radiation is total dose, not necessarily the intensity. You can go through a high intense area over a short amount of time and emerge unscathed. It's the total dose. And it turns out that, say, airline pilots get more of a dosage in a year flying, at 30,000 feet, than these astronauts get going through the Van Allen radiation belt.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say a large short dose is less dangerous than a long drawn out low dose, because it's about if your body has time to recover, then not much damage is done. But it's if you're under constant battering, albeit light, your body doesn't recover and the damage is worse. So
yeah, it reminds me of the criticism from the deniers that they looked when the astronauts got back, they had this really down, depressed look to them, and it's like, yeah, they probably did. They didn't sleep. They were out jumping around, and they were put through literally hell for all that time. But
and
no,
then they got back and stuck them in a trailer for 2 weeks. So
yeah, and they didn't have cell phones back then. But one good reason to bring that up is because you did probably one of the most valuable series, in my opinion, in debunking this whole thing about the moon, because the thing that the flat earthers use the most, and we were talking about this earlier, is this documentary, A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Moon. And I think that's when I discovered your channel. I had seen your channel before, but I had never really watched much of it, and I was looking for a good debunk for that. And I was so mad, man, finding out that Bart Sibrel purposely cut up a bunch of longer segments of moon footage so that he could make the argument that we didn't go to the moon. And to hear Roxanne still shout this thing out, not it's so crazy, man.
I still hear him say it every day. It just winds me up so much, because as I was saying the other day, it's a really unsophisticated piece of media, really, and I can understand how people can be convinced by it, because not, who can be bothered to do, actually figure out what's going on, and they tell a good story. But I mean, that is literally all that's happening. They're just making shit up, it's just, for me, these events, I mean, I was 4 years old when the first moon landing happened, and it was a massive deal. It wasn't, now when we see news about space now, it's like it's the last story on the news. It's that happy little story at the end of the news. Well, when Apollo happened, it was the news. It was all of the news, and it was all of the shows before the news, and it was all of the shows after the news. It totally dominated everything. And it influenced, for me, it was a big, influenced my interest in science and science fiction and, ultimately gaming and things like that. It was, it led me into all sorts of things, and it was inspirational, I feel. And it just seems a shame that these days I hear so many people, particularly, people who are a bit younger than I am, just sort of dismiss it. Oh, it was a fake. And just almost, without a second thought, it wasn't a fake. It was real. This really happened. It definitely wasn't a fake.
Yeah, and it's a disparaging insult to all the good men and women that dedicated their lives into making this happen.
This is humanity at its best. This is what happens when you get 400,000 humans and say, do the very best you can on this one thing. This is the result.
Insane thing. Yeah.
Right.
And it's amazing when you think of the logistics, managing the logistics within a decade, as President Kennedy had declared in his State of the Union. We did go from nothing to landing a man on the moon.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And with him dying, with them trying so hard to make it happen, and with the first group of astronauts burning up inside of the during the accident, there's so much on the line. And to see that it happened, and now it's crazy because I always criticize propaganda, and I bitch about television. I'm like, man, they keep television so clean. They that you've always got these same channels broadcasting, and then you see what happens on YouTube when anyone can make a video. It's like you let anyone make a video, people are going to freaking not get any views, and then resign themselves to standing up and just screaming the craziest things they can until something sticks. And that definitely happened here, man, because that whole thing is taken off. You've got the moon landing, and then watching Owen Benjamin discover the moon landing conspiracy, buy into it, and then months later become a flat earther and be at the head of the movement, it's pretty telling. It's like a gateway drug to stupid or something.
I agree, it is. And, you know, Patricia Steer always used to name it as her way in. She watched a funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that got her into the moon landing, and that led her to flat Earth.
And to think, because so for anyone that doesn't know, Jim Panda did this like huge series. And are you ever going to put them into one long movie, or have you done that yet?
Yeah, there is one. It's called The Box.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah, there is one. The reason I did it like that, because I actually did. The first video I made was a debunk of this, and I just addressed this so-called smoking gun footage. And it wasn't a very good video. I didn't use voice. It was there was a lot to read in it, and it was it's a kind of a first effort. And but people would go and watch it, and I would get all these comments saying, well, you didn't debunk anything. It was this other thing in it that did it for me. So, and I would keep getting these comments. So I thought, right, I'm going to remake this. I'm going to make a better job of it. And this time I'm going to address absolutely every claim in it. And then no one can say, oh, well, it wasn't that. It was this that did it for me, because that'll be in there too. I mean, they still do that. They just talk about other shit that wasn't in that film. But so that's why there's so many of them. I just wanted to really address absolutely everything that he said.
And you did, man. You proved that Bart... Okay, the guy that did this whole thing is Bart Sibrel. He's the guy who took the Bible up to, the astronauts and got punched in the face and kicked in the ass and all that. And,
right.
Bart takes 2 or 3 segments of separate NASA footage and chops it up, correct?
Right. He takes 2. But he has 3 available to him.
Okay.
There's probably a couple of other bits as well, but there's 3 main ones that we address, and he takes 2, and he uses these in this. It's astronauts shooting footage of the Earth from on their journey to the moon, looking back at the Earth. And he claims that they're doing this. First, he claims that they're using the circular window of the spacecraft. And they're actually in low Earth orbit, and all you're seeing
that's what converts a lot of people. That part of it
through this circular window. Well, actually, that window is only circular on the inside of the spacecraft, and the outside edge of it is square. And he claims it's the outside edge that's being used to create this. And then he makes a second claim about this other piece, and he says that they're using a piece of material to create a crescent shape of the Earth, but the piece that he leaves out is again a similar shot of the Earth that comes in between these 2, chronologically, and it's a similar shot of the Earth. But in this one, you see they zoom out from the window that they're filming through. You see the window frame, and then the spacecraft rolls. The camera keeps recording, and then they pick up the Earth coming into view in another window, showing that it couldn't possibly be the edge of the window or a piece of material that's making this Earth. It's obviously there. You can see it sitting in the window with the window frame around it, So it shows, and he had that footage. He had it available to him. And, he just chose to make up a story about this other footage.
So is that what he did, though? He made that, literally had to have just invented this.
Well, this is one of the interesting things when you talk to people about it, because they'll say, the proponents of it will say, well, you see them faking it with a piece of material. And then when I say to them, but did you? They say, yes, I saw it. So, well, go back to the video and show me where this piece of material is. And off they go. And then 10 minutes later, they come back and go, oh, yeah, actually, there isn't a piece of material in it. They just said there was. But you never actually see it. You just see the Earth surrounded by black. There's never any evidence of any texture of any other substance of any sort. Solid, cloth, nothing. There's no... It's just the Earth surrounded by black. And they say, they're doing it with a bit of material. Well, no reason to... They're just making up stories,
Yeah, and Bart had that kind of strange aura about him. Like he sounds like a bullshit artist. He talks like a bullshit artist. And
Right.
it makes me always wonder who paid him, or did he just do this for money? Did someone fund this? Because, you know, there are a lot of, like, entities that would just love for the United States to convince, citizens of the United States that these great moments didn't happen. That's a fact,
Right.
that there are entities out there that would like that. And I always wondered what's behind this whole thing.
Well, I
When
think
is
he
Bart
made
gonna talk?
some of a career from it, you know, because he's turned up on other things. There was that Fox documentary, Did We Go to the Moon? I think it's called, or something like that. He turns up on that as a sort of a consultant sort of thing, and
Oh.
you know, so and I've seen him on a couple of news shows, I think, before. So I guess he got some glory from it, and I think he sold the video, because I think when he made it, I think it was really before YouTube, and
Oh, yeah. Mhm.
I think it was sort of in the 90s, and I think he sold
They
it.
claim it now. You play any of that shit, and they'll copyright claim that shit from you. So he'll
Right.
make money. And then there's another one, that one flatty guy that says he used to work at NASA and paint clouds. Matt Powerland or whatever.
Yeah,
You
Matt Powerland.
play any clip of Matt Powerland from his original video, even if it's under fair use, and you're going to get your revenue taken. And it tells you right away what that's about. Doesn't even care about fair use at all. He just takes your revenue from it.
Right. Wow. He's a crazy guy, that one.
Oh, he's lost it, dude. And that's the thing. I am so freaking happy that people like him are now losing their damn minds, because it shows that they were just crazy all along, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can remember that was my impression of him. Although I have heard people say he's just another one that's just playing a character and is actually perfectly normal.
You never know, man.
And he's just really good at playing a character. And there is, he is an actor after all. I mean, there was that's really when he fell from grace, was when it was discovered that he'd been in this MTV show playing a gay football star or something. Do you know about that?
No. What?
Oh yeah, the footage is out there. Yeah, well he's in this. It was an MTV show. It was a sort of like a soap opera, but it was aimed at teenagers. I can't remember the name of it. And in it, he's in like one episode of it, and he's like a gay guy who's like coming out. I think there's like a gay kiss in it, this. Anyway, this came out. This was sort of exposed by the Morgile, actually. I think was the one that led the charge on that one. And that he sort of fell from grace really at that point.
How ironic.
Yeah.
It was the Morgile.
On your server, remember the gal Channel Q that always would show up periodically?
Yeah.
She'd always claim that she had some history with Matt Powerland when he was starting this stuff up.
Well, that's right. She commissioned him to do some painting, because he does do these, he does these, like he paints murals and things, and he's very good at it. I mean, he has some, he's renowned for it, and she commissioned him to do it for a museum. And she said that she went to meet him about this, or maybe she spoke to him on YouTube. But anyway, she had to go back to the museum and tell them about this commission. And so as she tells the story, she says, well, I just went back and I said, well, this is the guy. He's an artist. He does this. Oh, and he plays a character on YouTube who thinks the earth is flat. I mean, that's just how she described it. That was her impression of it, that that was a thing he did in his spare time, was he played this character on YouTube, and he's this sort of bohemian arty type, that would do that sort of thing, that was just added to his cool, I guess, so I don't know. That's her story anyway.
That is strange. I always wonder how many of these guys are just doing it because of a troll, or because they think it's fun, or because they want to, it's the hardest part about YouTube or social media in general is getting that first little boost to what you do. So it's like, how many of these guys are just kind of using this as a fun thing or something to give them a little springboard?
But if you think of it in terms of when he came out with it, because he does this sort of, he also did some stand-up comedy, and he does it in that he does this stand-up comedy routine called photo or painting, and he shows all these photorealistic paintings, because that's what he does, this photorealistic art, where they actually paint something, but it looks like a photo. It's astounding. Some of it, you can't believe they painted it, and he does this sort of comedy routine surrounding that.
That
and
sounds imaginative. That actually sounds pretty cool.
Right, it is quite cool. It's not that funny, is it? You know, I kind of feel, I don't know. The audience seemed to find it, the live audience seemed to find it funnier than I did to watch. But anyway, he does this thing, and that was his story, that he'd worked at NASA and that he'd faked pictures of the Earth and all this sort of thing. But I can totally believe it was a story that he'd made up. And apparently there was an ending to it. He was going to go to Antarctica, and he talks about how other people have hijacked his flat Earth idea and that sort of thing. So he's not entirely agreed with the Channel Q story, but he's not really disagreed with it either. So I don't know. Your guess is as good. They're always a mystery, these people, aren't they? You think they are, and you think they aren't, and you think they are, and you think they aren't, you know.
Well, one thing I wanted to talk to you guys about, was some of the more negative things that you've seen in the Flat Earth community. Cringy stuff or just kind of weird stuff. Is there anyone who's not around now that was around, let's say, a year or so ago, who had any significant craziness happening?
Yeah. Well, there's Political Hillbilly. He was one. He was quite a
Political Hillbilly.
Yeah. Do you know that guy?
No.
Yeah, and Van Helton.
What?
Van Helton. I've heard
that
Van
name
Helton
before. Yeah, Van Helton's famous. He's got
Didn't he have some crazy thing happen threatening some guy who killed himself? That might not have been him, but
yeah, it probably was. He's got
okay.
What do you call that website? Where what's it called? I can't remember.
Yeah, I can't remember either.
There's a web page for every like mad person on the internet.
Oh, Encyclopedia Dramatica.
Yeah, he's got an Encyclopedia Dramatica page. Yeah. Van Helton, yeah, he was kind of part of it. He wasn't there right at the beginning. He sort of drifted in, I think, when he got out of jail one day, and popped in for a bit and went. But Political Hillbilly, he used to do a show every afternoon, every day. He would do like a live show, and it's just sort of a general hangout. And he was an auto hoaxer as well. And
oh god,
there was what he did was he nicked some money, basically. There was another flat earther around at the time called Candy Franklin, and she'd got into trouble with her phone bill, and she was going to lose her internet, and she needed some money, and other flat earthers said they would help, and they sent money, but for some reason they had to send it via this Political Hillbilly. I can't remember quite. Maybe he did a fundraiser on her behalf because she'd got no internet. And he basically nicked the money. He took like $2,000. And he just vanished with the money.
Wait. Who did?
This Political Hillbilly guy.
He took $200,000?
No, $2,000.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so there was that little incident. There was the whole Antonio and Patricia that we've mentioned, of course. What other high drama has there been?
Well, there was Poncho Pete there for a while.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Pissy Pete. I've actually heard some
No, not
stories
Pissy
about
Pete. This is different Pete.
Oh, is it?
Pissy Pete is
Pete Shea. Yeah. So who's Poncho? I've seen some stuff. I saw a thing where he stabbed somebody or he almost got stabbed.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, that was... He I mean, he was always a bit mad, but he gradually got more and more mad as time went on. He did, and he basically, in the end, he got into all this transvestigation stuff.
Oh God!
Yeah, and
before that,
there was a video of him getting evicted.
Oh
yeah. That's where he
that's
threatens
right.
to stab somebody. Yeah. Did you guys
No,
hear
that's
about?
a different one where he does the stabbing. That's a different.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I would know. Yeah.
Yeah, he had a
So
few incidents, but yeah, he gradually gets nuttier and nuttier. That one.
Karen B actually is the focus of transvestigations now after the FEIC. She's been having people, talking about her Adam's apple and trolling her over it for some reason. I thought that was strange.
Right. Yeah, I've heard that.
I don't believe it personally. I think she seems like a woman, but just weird. It's like they always default to that. Anytime a female in the flat earth community angers the greater community, that's where they default to. We were talking when I was restarting the computer, we were talking about Patricia Steer and what the other guy, Subarats.
Yeah, Antonio Subarats, yeah.
He's the guy that did that daytime, nighttime.
That's the one, yeah. That was crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that's.
I mean, that was a big deal when that came out because he was prominent at that time. You know, he was big in flat Earth, and
and he apparently released that on the day she arrived to live with him.
Right. That's right.
Yeah, isn't that the craziest story that you've ever heard? So, imagine being Patricia Steer. And you look at his channel after you show up, and that daytime, nighttime video is what you click. Like, could you just imagine being stuck in another country with a guy?
Right. She says that he didn't know. No, his mates claim that he didn't know what they were doing, that they pulled a trick on him. And they said they were filming him for something else, and they got him to do these sort of posy shots and stuff and cut them together. And she says that he did know and he must have known, and how could he not have known? Well, I don't think he did know. I think because his mates, they seem genuine, and they don't really seem to like him that much either. So and they made a video saying this is what we did, because he got into so much trouble for it because the flat earthers all hated him for it. They actually made a video saying, look, this is what we did. We played this trick on him, and we got him to do these poses, and we couldn't believe it when he really played up to it for us. You know, we weren't expecting him to do that. And and they just cut all these bits together. And when you actually break it down, there isn't that much, it's the same little bits of footage over and over again. I think that story is believable, and I don't think he would.
How could you upload, okay, I don't care what I do. I click the video and make sure I've got the video I want before I drag the file over and upload it to YouTube. How in the world do you get a file from someone else and not even watch it before you upload it?
I think he had, the story as I understand it, is he uploaded it, but he made it private. Then he shares the link, and someone shared the video or liked the video. And if you share or like your video, I think if someone's following you,
and the unlisted back then,
they could pick it up, and I think that's how it got leaked. Basically, he was going, ha ha ha, look, this is what my mates did to me. I think that's the story.
That's not something your friends do there. What's your name? Subarats. That's not a friend that does that to you on the internet. Sorry. Oh, wow. These are some of the craziest stories, man. Flat Earth is really... We were talking about this in your Discord server. It's very entertaining.
It is. And once you get into it, you're watching this soap opera that, occasionally you get a bit part in the soap opera. Your name crops up somewhere or something, and you're in it for a little while. And it draws you in like that, because... just when you think it's getting boring, one of them goes and does something totally random.
Insane. Worse than you ever thought. That. Right. I never expected to see a quarter of the stuff I've seen in this whole movement, man. And I've been looking in different conspiracy communities for years on YouTube.
Right.
Now, let's face it, it's in human nature. We're drawn to train wrecks, fires, and human dysfunction.
Yeah.
I think so.
Dude, you guys are right. This Brian Mullins guy is warship by flatties. And the stuff he did was way back then. It's not even like recent stuff.
No, you're doing
You can find
2
it
years.
everywhere.
Yeah, 2 years or more.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's constantly being mirrored.
let me show people what he sounds like and how he was here. Let's take a quick look.
I'm Brian Mullen. This is Balls Out Physics, episode 3, Centripetal Force.
Balls out physics. What he's saying? Kick out the balls, or he's doing physics with his pants off? What's he saying here?
Gravity and the sun. Now, before you watch this episode, if you haven't watched episode 2, please go back and watch that, because this episode is really a continuation of that episode where we talked about the bread and butter physics equation, F equals ma, and the equation for gravity over here, Fg equals the gravitational constant, which the episode was titled, times one mass times another mass divided by the distance between them squared. Now, in that episode, I focused on...
This is a video that I went after with my first YouTube video.
The fact that the gravitational constant may have been calculated by estimating Earth instead of through experimentation, as we've been told. There's really not a whole lot of evidence showing that these...
Okay, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And he literally just sits there and says these things and everybody believed him? Is that what happened?
Yeah. You should scroll forward to about the last 10 minutes and then watch that. It's really quite amusing at best. Where he sits, ponders. Yeah, I do it sometime later, but I mean, do watch it. Do yourself a favor and watch the last 10 minutes of that episode 3.
I want to play that video that you told me, that you gave me earlier. I'm going to take a quick look at that because you gave me a video where you was it what one did you tell me to play? The one about Bob, or do you remember the name of it so I can?
Well, yeah, I gave you an example of where I went after Bob Nodal. That's called Bob.
There
Nodal.
It is. Yeah, got her. Here, let's take a quick look at the beginning here.
Good evening, George Nowacek here. About a year ago, I made a video detailing the lies and fraud of one Mr. Robert Nodal, or known as Bob Nodal. Since that time, the video had over 5,300 views and was up a year. And quite recently, over the last few weeks, that video was targeted by Mr. Nodal and a group he belongs to called FEIC2019. And they made a privacy complaint against my video. There is no such thing as a privacy complaint regarding my video, but it's not only my video that was targeted. Sly Sparkane and others were also targeted for using that very same page. This was a page taken out of a public disclosure by FEIC2019 that...
It sounds exactly like the last thing that happened when FEIC2019 got investigated for misusing the charity, filing for a 501c. They did the same thing and struck all the videos.
Yeah.
So this is a habit of theirs.
Yeah, it seems to be.
So what? Oh, go ahead.
Well, no, I agree. I mean, it's a targeting technique that they have to suppress negative publicity.
Yeah, so basically Bob claimed to be a pilot and he claimed to be an engineer. Along with the other members of FEIC2019 alluded that they were engineers, and I heard other people helped you, or other people called
Wolfie 6020 out of Australia. He's a commercial pilot, and he went after the pilot claims by Bob Nodal, and I went after the engineering claims, and together we managed to bring this SOB down.
So what did Wolfie find out?
Well, he found that Bob claimed to be a licensed commercial pilot as well as a private pilot. And not only that, he had multi-engine rating. And Wolfie found that he never was a commercial pilot or had multi-engine rating. And I believe the last time that Bob passed medical for his private pilot's license was like decades ago, and he hasn't flown, in decades. So, all these claims that Bob makes related to flight and piloting and that is just, again, clouds in the coffee. It just, there's nothing there.
And then the engineering part, what did you discover on that?
Well, in the engineering part, he's definitely not a professional engineer. He's never held a professional engineering license. He's based in Colorado, in Denver, Colorado, and I've checked Colorado and other states, and he does not hold a professional engineering license. And I also hired a firm to go through college transcripts for me, or not transcripts, but college registrations, and nothing could be found that in any way supports that Bob Knodel had earned an engineering degree. So he has claimed, to be an RF engineer, but you hear what he says on Globebusters. I mean, this guy hasn't a clue as to how electromagnetic propagation, radio waves propagate through space. He makes many errors. My suspicion is the closest he's come to be an RF engineer is he may have worked for a satellite installation company and maybe pulled wires for the company or something,
Shit, I had something else I wanted to ask you, but it's leaving me here. Okay, why in the world would a group of what they call themselves as truthers, and that was something, and JM Truth, no offense, but I'm just using it as an example. Like I talked to him on Team Skeptics channel a few days ago. He's saying, listen, I'm a truther more than I'm a flat earther. I just want to know the truth. Why would they allow someone who lied about their credentials so much to continue making money off of their community like Bob and not stand up to him? I don't understand this.
Your guess is as good as mine. I mean, he is a partner in a very successful show, Globebusters, that they have every week on Sunday, and they have a large subscription base. So, do you bite the hand that feeds you? I don't know.
Shit. He's not doing that well for having this successful show of his, that's for sure.
He believes absolutely every conspiracy as well, Bob does. He's like an encyclopedia of conspiracy theories. He believes them all.
Encyclopedia Conspirita. It's like,
yeah.
Don't they know that if every one of these stupid conspiracies are true, then the standard is a conspiracy theory, and being normal is the rare thing in that case? I mean,
right.
It's like chemtrails, something like that. There's no evidence yet. They want to continue saying it's true and not make any steps towards verification.
Well, I watched a video the other day by a flat earther. Well, I guess he's a flat earther. He was on a flat earth channel. And he is claiming that this mountain somewhere is actually it's the body of an elephant, of a gigantic elephant. And he reckons it's got the ear canal of an elephant, and it's got an eye where an elephant's eye would be, and all this.
Yeah.
And so he's proposing a giant elephant that's turned into a mountain. And Bob is there in the comments going, great video, well, good proof.
Oh my gosh.
He buys into that shit. He got a right telling off recently for because he had like Martin Leaker and some other mud flooder on Globebusters talking about mud floods. You know about mud floods? You've come across mud floods.
I've heard it, yeah. Really,
and he was heavily criticized by one or two flat earthers for that. You believe in giants, Bob.
Oh, yeah. I've got that clip.
They have sort of giant buildings a part of it,
Vegan warrior, yeah.
That's the guy.
I'd like to clarify something I just caught in chat, and there seems to be a fair amount of misunderstanding regarding this, because I keep seen this question every now and then. It has regarding engineering in the United States, whether or not you need to have a license to be an engineer in the United States. No, you do not need to have a license to be an engineer in the United States, but you do need to have a professional engineering license if you're going to strike out on your own and offer your services to the public for a fee. You need to be covered by the umbrella of the professional engineering license to demonstrate that you have a level of competence that can be ensuring public safety when you do your design work and your consulting work. Also in the United States, if you're to be called into court, say as an expert witness, you need to possess a professional engineering license. Not just any engineer can appear in court to testify as an expert witness. Now, where most engineers manage to be protected legally is like when they're part of a corporation. You are covered under the umbrella of the corporation legal umbrella. But to go out on yourself by your own, you really need the legal protection of having a professional engineering license. But you can work as an engineer without having that, say, if you work for a corporation or other people.
Yeah, and, you know, it would be very easy for Bob to show some evidence that he is an engineer in any type of professional capacity, or even just has the knowledge or the, you know, something, you know, a damn degree or whatever he has. He would just stand up. Like when I was debunking QAnon, a couple of those guys were trying to take shots at me, and they told people that I wasn't ever in the military. So I went live, showed my military IDs, my old military IDs, my pictures from when I was in the military, my DD-214, my awards, you know. There could be something that he has that would verify it. And he's never shown anything. He just honestly hasn't. And I think that says a lot because, you know, that would be the easiest way to squash it. And it would do so much for him and his channel. And why wouldn't he do it? It's nuts.
Yeah. Also, this brings up another important point in regards to Quantum Eraser. Recently, some people have been doing some investigations, not me, but I've heard other people on Jim's channel talk about this, in looking at Quantum Eraser's military history, because he has from time to time claimed that he was associated with the Rangers and this, and the most that anybody's ever found is that he was possibly a dietitian in the Army to help slim
like
down these fat boys that couldn't make it through the obstacle courses and stuff, that he never really, he has a stolen valor in sense, and that should infuriate you, UNIRock, is
oh yeah, it does.
being in the military. I mean, and that's the same thing with Noble in a sense. There's a stolen valor there, but it's not as significant as it is for military stolen valor. I mean, that's really disgusting if you start doing things like that.
Oh, dude, 100%. It's been the constant. It's been the constant thing when it comes to those guys. It's a constant fraud. It's a constant lie. It's constantly them doing that thing we've talked about and ignoring evidence that would debunk their insanity, and that all should be something that is easy to sit down and my God, dude, if they were even convinced whatsoever, they'd love it when someone stood up to challenge them. They'd love to be able to debate it or discuss it. And speaking of which, let me check my email right now. I'm supposed to do a debate this weekend, and I've been waiting on Dredd to email me, so let's see if I get that set up so we can handle that this week. Feeling he won't email me, but maybe he will.
Which Dredd is that? Musicians for Truth, that Dredd?
No, it's he's from a channel. It's got about 20,000 subs. Question Everything. The channel Question Everything wants to debate me, and I accepted the debate, and I went to his channel, and I also stated it on stream. I need you to email me, and we'll set this up. And I haven't heard from him, so I don't know. We'll see. It might happen later this weekend if we're lucky. So. Well, we've been on for, let's see, I think either 3 hours or 2 hours. I can't tell. Oh, it's 11. I think we started at 8. Yeah, we've been going on about 3. So let's wrap this up. But so we're talking to George and Jim Panda. I've been telling you guys for a while to subscribe to Jim Panda. And his channel's right here. Mods have been dropping the link. He does these great documentaries, and they are funny as hell. With your After Effects skills are on point, dude. I'm telling you. I'm going to have to get some help from you sometime if I ever get stuck.
Oh, no problem. It's my pleasure.
I've got a lot more content to go through, so we should all get together here, you know, and next weekend or sometime soon, or in a couple, whenever you guys are available, and do another round. I think it'd be fun. And
yeah, definitely.
And we got, for sure, man. Yeah, and we got George in here. I just showed George's channel, so do me a solid, mods, if somebody wants to drop the link to George before we round this out. But you know, before we get out of here, you know, I think what you guys do is excellent. You guys, like I said, I've never seen Jim Panda troll, and other than what's about to pop up on the screen here, but it's fine with me. I like that kind of thing popping up on my screen. But no, that's not even a troll. But you know, I've never seen George troll, and I think what you guys do is ask for evidence, ask them to attain a standard of truth, especially when they're not saying they're comedy, they're saying that they're truth. And I just appreciate you guys coming, man. It's been a good stream.
Yeah, well, it's been a pleasure. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
You know, if you wanted to do something in the future, what might be interesting is going over Anthony Riley. I mean, this guy is the gift that keeps on giving.
We should sit down and talk about his you know, dissertation or whatever the hell he had there. Maybe go through some of the stuff that you guys have seen, because he's been around, right? He's been around for a while.
Yeah, he's been around a long while. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's getting dopier by the week.
Oh, definitely. And that way maybe you guys could stop in and fill me in on some of the stuff that happened before I started paying attention to him a year or so ago.
Yeah, no problem. Definitely. I'd love that.
Yeah. Well, guys, I'll
that one would be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'll jump into your Discord, Jim, and talk to you guys here soon. And you guys are in my Discord now. I sent you an invite if you're not, so make sure take a look for that for me.
I will do, yeah, definitely.
Thanks.
All right, guys. See you later.
Great show.
Later.
All right, guys. Jim Panda and George, let me talk to you for a second and talk about the weekend and what we're going to do. And I apologize greatly that our show restarted. It always does that. It takes me about half an hour to get up to about 150 or 200 viewers. And it sucks when we get there. 20 minutes later, our stream crashes. And also, I saw something that infuriated me. Just straight infuriated me. I'm going to pull this guy up or I'll forget to talk about it. So let's talk about two little things. Let's see what you got. You know, I should have asked you guys if you have any questions or anything you want them to bring up. I promise you we'll do it next time. Anyway, though, most of all, thank you for watching. But let's do the sum up and let's talk about what we're doing this weekend. Okay. Now, make sure you understand, if you just got here, this stream got cut in half. It got chopped in half, damn it. Yeah, so that sucks. I am going to fix that, though. It's very rare. I usually stream for 4, 5, 6, 7 hours and never have my computer restart. The issue is in my storage. It's with a program, a driver, iastore.b. It's a common problem, especially if you're using a more advanced computer, but you're using like an old hard drive for your operating system. So I'm going to solve that problem. I've got a really nice on sale SSD drive that I'm going to order. Hey, if anyone has any spare computer parts, reach out to me through email. I could use memory. I could use hard drives. I definitely could use some monitors. We'll figure that out sometime. If anyone ever does, let me know. Of course, no one will, but I'm just saying. Everybody needs their stuff. So anyway, though, on the 1st, at the latest, I'm going to place the order. I'm going to get it here in a day or two, and I'm going to immediately install it into my computer, wipe everything off my hard drive, reformat this 5 terabyte hard drive I have, and then migrate my my install is going to be on this SSD. My streaming software, everything I used to do the stream will be housed on the SSD. It'll be much faster, and it'll get rid of that problem 100,000 freaking percent. Go for 4 of the same drive, build a RAID 5. I would if I needed the space, but honestly, I don't even have half of the hard drive filled up. I'm not even at 2.5 terabytes yet. It's because I did go through and delete a lot of old video. I don't usually keep a lot of old video around, so I know some people do. I don't do that, so yeah, I don't have that issue. Other than gaming stuff, I got a lot of gaming video. And I'm going to be getting back to uploading some more of my gaming stuff anyway. Soon, but not real soon. Anyway, though, this weekend, so today's Friday, we're going to be streaming tomorrow on DLive, and we're going to do a shorter show tomorrow. I am going to reach out to Dredd from Question Everything, but it would have been nice if Dredd would have emailed me. He challenged me to the debate. I did expect to get an email from him before now. I will check all my emails, even though I did leave him UNIRocktv@gmail.com. I'll see if there was an issue, and maybe he'll hear that I'm talking about this, and it'll make him decide to reach out. I don't know. Also, Tstew owes me $100,000. Tstew does. I met his challenge. I met it fast. I completed it completely. It is not something that he can sit there and argue. If the majority of people in the world aren't ding-dongs and they 100% can see that what I said was accurate, which I did go with the scientific method. I did go by current scientific standard to answer his challenge. You should be paying me there, Tstew. You could at least drop $5,000 on my PayPal or something to make up for the fact that you're going to take you some time to pay me or whatever the hell's going on. I don't know. But don't make yourself a liar, Tstew, because every single time you pop up, there's going to be videos about how you don't keep your word and you lie and you troll and you act like a dick. Now, over to Authentic Intent. Authentic Intent outraged me. And Authentic Intent outraged me when he had revealed out of nowhere, due to being exposed, I believe, but I don't know, but he revealed out of nowhere that he was a sex offender, and that didn't bother me. It does bother me, but the fact that doesn't pertain to his content unless he's talking about kids. So why does it matter? Because he films kids on his channel constantly. And I just saw a clip where Authentic Intent is arguing with a dad at a freaking either baseball or football, I don't know, hockey, at a hockey game, and he's arguing with the dad, telling the dad the earth is flat. The dad, he came up, started talking to the dad, started the conversation, wasn't happy with what the dad said, so he looks at the guy's 7-year-old kid and says, Santa's not real at the end of the conversation, and then says, well, if you're going to lie to your kid, don't get mad at me for telling the truth. That's the kind of person that Authentic Intent is. And he found that entertaining enough to upload. The kid, the 7, no matter what, no matter if the guy thinks the earth is flat or not, it doesn't say anything about the kid, Authentic Intent. Are you kidding me? Look at you. You are a danger to other people's children, just like we said in the beginning. It is infuriating to see things like these happening. Why does YouTube let you do these things? It's insane. I have free super chats, says Liz. Well, thank you for sending them to me. It is December next month, so thank you so much, Liz. I love you. Appreciate you so much. Anyway, Authentic Intent, you should be damn ashamed of yourself. I think you are. I think you're ashamed with your life. But thank God, Mr. Authentic Intent, when he thought he was teaming up with Globebusters and Karen B and the FEI. Whoa! They gave you all of those? Why, Liz, thank you for hooking me up over here. You just paid for the whole stream, Liz. Thank you. You are so nice. I appreciate you. You paid for the whole stream. I appreciate you. But yeah, he used to... Oh, not another? Really? You are so cool, man. But yeah, so he was uploading daily when he thought that Karen B and the Globebusters were going to support him. And there's another one. My last one goes to Uni. Thanks, Liz. You talk to Doc anymore? Tell Doc I said hi if you still see him. I miss Doc. Tell him to come stream with me. Anyway, the good thing about it is after people let the Globebusters and the conference know that they didn't want a a labeled like lifelong sex predator at the events where people will be taking their children, it looks like he's decided, oh, well, if they're not going to team up with me, I'm just going to make one video a week. But he's still doing his dumb shit. And, bro, you just need to get your shit together. People aren't mad at you for mistakes you made in your past. Maybe some are. I know I am, but maybe most people aren't. I'm telling you, the issue is when you do something on YouTube relating to kids in some way, and then you have that in your past. That's the issue. Anyway, Patricia Steer, I'm still waiting. Patricia Steer, for my interview. When you going to come hang, Patricia? Come hang with me, Patricia. I want to ask you about everything that happened. I want to know if you still believe in it. I want to know if you've woke up. I want to show you the debunk for a funny thing happened on the way to the moon. So at least you know that that is misleading and they lied to you and it should make you angry. Anyone out there that has been lied to by a conspiracy theorist on the internet, I don't mean duped, because of course there are some conspiracy theorists out there that believe what they're pushing. But once you send them incontrovertible, literally undebunkable evidence that they're wrong and that what they've been saying is a lie, and they don't bother to go to their channel and tell their audience, that's when you know that they're lying to you. And why is that significant? Because a lot of conspiracy theorists only do this to get views and clicks. They know that people sub to their channel because they like those conspiracies. So they don't have the gall. They don't want to lose subscribers and lose money and don't want to tell their audience when they find out they've been debunked. They'd rather just ignore it and let it go. Around here, we hook you up with the truth. We hook you up with what's really going on. So I thank you very much for being here. Okay, I'm heading to the after show. Let me go ahead and type it in, ! After show. Now, I do have one more thing to do. There's a lot of people out there that says, I'm all about the drama. UNIRock is just a drama llama. UNIRock is just a big drama llama. Well, see, this is the thing. I'm not a drama llama, as I've been accused of being. I'm not. And it's some other people out there that are the drama llamas. They always have this type of thing happening. It never is toward a point. It's never toward a goal. It's just meant to start drama in the community. And as you noticed tonight, I had a new setup and I had a pretty cool thumbnail. Well, I made this to mimic Jose's stream. And some of you are going to say, but did Shelly agree to come on for coffee? James says she did not agree to come on my show for coffee. She said that she would love to sit down and have a coffee, which I think means she'd love to sit down and talk to me. And I hope she does message me. I want her to go on Team Skeptic's show first because he asked her first, and I'm, an honorable dude, and I'm not going to try to, step on Team's toes. So maybe when she goes to Team's channel, I can come hang out and we can all talk to her. I think it'd be fun. But I'd love to still have her here, even if she goes to Team's channel, just so we could have a conversation and get filled in on things. And Shelly knows that I'm waiting when she's comfortable to come, that her spot is open here. And I'd love to talk to her about the flat earth, honestly. I'd love to have a conversation that's not meant to change her mind, where she's not trying to change mine, and we are both telling each other why we believe, what we believe, how we believe, and what stops us from believing the opposite. Those would be good conversations. I'm working on it for you. I'm working on it. But what I was saying was this is meant to look like JG's stream, except much better. And I did this not to make fun of him. I did this because he did this.
Who has balls and the pants?
Represent someone's people.
All right,
I need to speak my 20 seconds, and I'm not going to stop talking. All right, I'm going to take a minute to speak. All right, so some people is talking like, hey, share this link. And B-Ball is sharing a UNIRock link talking about the Nathan Oakley.
Oh, it was B-Ball. That's what I'm talking about, B-Ball. You know why B-Ball shared that to you? Jose, I didn't know it was B-Ball, so I want to add this in. B-Ball is the guy who went and super chatted to Nathan Oakley until Nathan started talking about the DMs that exposed him as a Glober. So B-Ball wasn't showing you because he was a fan of mine. B-Ball wasn't showing you that because, he wanted to advertise my show or something. I don't do that. I don't give a shit where my show gets advertised, honestly. I don't go to other people's live chats and beg people to watch my show and shit. B-Ball was doing that because B-Ball was proud of the fact that he did that and it exposed Nathan Oakley, and you should have gave that to him, man. He's one of your viewers.
Shenanigans, right? I'm not gonna play anything from UNIRock. UNIRock channel is a drama, soap opera, bullshit channel, worthless. So people like UNIRock, they take content from a real deal panel like this where people come in to talk about the stuff, what's going on. This is not drama. This is where the shit happens, where you guys are real people interacting with each other. Now, there's other channels, they take my content, and then they sit behind the content and say, we're gonna talk about what went down in a street.
I should actually react to it. So let me react to what he said up to now. My show is the same as yours when it comes to talking to others. I have people all the time come on my show to talk, and we have panels. So, yeah, nice try. Also, I would not say, and no offense, I've never put you down for your show, but I am going to criticize your show if you're going to not criticize mine, but insult mine. I'll at least give you constructive criticism. Your show is what is called a dumpster fire. No offense, I have always said, and I admit it, and you can ask my audience if I don't, I love a good dumpster fire every once in a while. So, yeah, people want to argue and yell and scream and fight on your show, fine. Does any good stuff happen? Of course it does. I'm not going to take that away. I'm not going to call your show worthless. Is my show worthless? If my show's worthless, JG, then your show is definitely worthless. That's what I'll say.
Stream, and I'm gonna make it a drama thing. Do you consider this drama? No, guys, think about it. This is where the real people click and join. Who has...
Did Busy sober up? Not yet, my friend. He did not. He's still out cold. No, he did
balls
not.
And the pants in their places, coming to panels like this to sort the shit out.
Well, that's a lie. And I hate to be the one to expose you, JG. I hate to be this guy, but I'll do it. So JG had a problem with Team Skeptic about a month or two ago. Me and Team talked about it on my show. This was a month or two ago. So I didn't just go get Team Skeptic and ask him if he wanted to come talk and bring, talk about this a little or whatever. I also went to JG and I messaged JG. I went to Discord and messaged JG. I went to a server that he was a part of. I let people know. I asked people that had talked to him to please let him know too. So he got multiple messages. I left a message in his chat or in his comments section and let him know that we were going to be talking about him and gave him an invite to come here so that he didn't feel like we were, stonewalling him or doing what he's saying here. He knows. I know that he knows that I offered him to come on. He never had a problem with me. I mean, I went on his show and talked to him and hung out there once. So my point, I wouldn't have went to your show and come on your show and hung out and talked if, you're just being an asshole here, dude. Seriously. But when it comes to people who like to talk shit and not try to reach out to others and resolve something, that's describing you, not me. Sorry.
Now, there's...
Team destroyed Killer Whale tonight. Oh, my God. I hope he did, dude. I hope he did. Oh, shit. Hold up. I just saw Team in my chat. Oh, Uni, I'm done with the debate. If you want to chat, I do, Team, but let's do it tomorrow. I'm just about to go offline and eat something. I might be on later, and I'll message you when I come on later. But yeah, dude, I'm about to wind this one down, and I have to take a break for like 20 minutes. I just need to eat. I'm feeling like weak and stuff, but
pussies like UNIRock that they take the content and just sit behind the keyboard and it's like, ha ha ha, look, I'm exposing everybody.
No, that's actually not what we've done. We've sat behind the keyboard and laughed at everybody for a good solid month straight. The only person I exposed, ironically, was Nathan Oakley. And I think that's why, I think you're mad about Nathan Oakley. I think you're mad because people are bringing my link to your channel and, I don't know if there's some jelly shit going on there or whatever. But I do think that you still consider Nathan a friend. I think you still look up to him. And I've got another thought about you. And depending on what you say next, I'll decide whether I share it. Fuck
y'all. Carry on.
Oh, fuck you. Oh, fuck UNIRock. Oh, okay, JG, I'll hook you up. You know what I think? I think Nathan Oakley is a scam, a con artist and a scammer. And I proved it the other day with this video. I did a video where I showed the Cat Earth message that was captured. I did a video where I showed that right here. Nathan Oakley is busted for good this time. It was just a week ago. And that video shows the DMs that Nathan Oakley had that prove that he knows that there is a globe. He knows there's a globe. He knows there is. I've got him saying it twice. Now, what was the issue with that? The issue is that when that first came out, when those DMs first leaked, a lot of flatties said, you guys are shilling and making up shit and photoshopping images. And they would not accept that those images were real, because if they did, they knew that it made Oakley a glober. And if why would he send a message to Riley saying that the Earth is a globe while he was live in front of his audience? He should have just said it to his audience. If he thinks that it proves a bulge, say it to your audience. It takes away the entire debate from Nathan Oakley's show. JG knows that. All the flatties know that. And all of us know that. It exposes him for what he is. Somebody who's doing a show who is a glober. Nathan Oakley is a glober. He's doing a show geared at flat earthers because he doesn't respect them, he doesn't like them, and he doesn't give a shit. And he's making money off of them. And I don't know if, I think that Jim Panda when he came in today, he talked about a moment where Nathan Oakley went downhill, right? I think that moment is where Nathan Oakley realized, oh shit, I'm wrong about this. But he saw that paycheck sitting there. He hit his studio button on his YouTube and saw that revenue slot and said to himself, I'm not giving that up. And if I go on my show and admit that there's a bulge, the same thing I did in the DMs to Riley, then I'm going to lose a majority of those donations, and that's why he's still doing his show. That's why his show is turned into an echo chamber. That's why his show tries to yell and scream and mute anyone that proves the globe on his show. And yes, that proves that Oakley knows that it's a globe. But we're not talking about Oakley. We're talking about JG. So here's what I'm going to say about you, JG. You started this, 1. You insulted the living hell out of me, 2. Well, I'm not going to start it, and I'm not going to insult you. I'm going to say the truth. I think that JG Gonzalez is a flat earther. If you listen to his show, I believe you'll agree with me. And I don't mean like after I say this. Go back and listen to his show when a flatty comes on and look at the way he treats a flatty and look at the way he treats a glober. And then listen to the things that he says about the Earth. I don't think he thinks it's a globe. I think he still thinks it's flat. I think that he started a show and said to himself, I want to make donations. I want to have a show. But damn, Nathan's got the flat Earth debate on lock. Ooh, why don't I do the same thing Nathan's doing? Why don't I take the position that I don't agree with, being a glober, because he's a flatty, and I will spend my time hosting this globe debate, and I'll take donos from globies because I don't respect them and I don't like them, and that's proof in his show's content if you watch it. I just think he's a Nathan Oakley for the globe. I think he sits on his show, personally, and believes in the damn flat Earth and sits there and lets the whole globe thing happen. But the one thing's for sure, Jose, you don't know shit about the globe Earth, 1. And 2, yes, you are more drama, more dumpster fire, and more arguing and more babbling than my show is. Yeah, people don't like my show. Why? Like, that's going to be a shock? Of course, there's going to be people that don't like Game of Thrones. There's people that don't like Star Wars. There's people that don't like big YouTubers. Of course, there's going to be a majority of people that don't like my show. But I find that the people that do like my show are some of the most awesome people out there. They're willing to, be real, and I'll take that any day. I'll take that any day. You know what the sad part is? I had told JG he's welcome on my show. He's welcome here. He could have just came in. He wants to sit and act like he's got to talk shit when he gets a link from someone. No, he could have just invited me on. He knows I'd come on his show. Why do this then? I think you know.
Did I put a camera in your face?
No, you were just rude. No one said you were a bully. You're just rude.
Wait.
But I've seen you put videos a lot of people is that you work for NASA.
Thanks, Carlos.
I mean, to be fair, Nathan, George isn't the only person you've run up and stuck a camera in a face and started yelling at.
And how we're all bullies.
Wait, what was that?
Put people on camera while they're eating.
To from us to tell the truth about things you do, Nathan. You're right. Far be from us to tell the truth about the things you guys do.
And you guys have got nothing better to do than pay $250+
Wait, what's
dollars to listen.
Oh, shit. Oh, no. Look, I don't got anything against JG. I don't care if you watch JG's show. I don't care if you talk on his panel. Whatever. Okay? JG, you don't like me? Well, thanks for letting me know. At least I know. At least I know now. Gotcha. All right, guys. If I can get my music playing. I most likely will be on D Live tonight, but I am going to go sit down for a minute, drink a little cup of tea. I'm going to eat a chicken breast and some macaroni. And, you know, I most likely will be streaming again tonight. I don't think I'm going to fall asleep based on the way I feel right now, but I can't make any promises. So we'll see what happens. Either way, guys, Team Skeptic says, I have nothing against Jose. I am not going to support him while he badmouths me. Me either. Yes, team. I'm the same way. I've got nothing against the guy, but he badmouths me too. I think he badmouths both of us. Like, he didn't Listen, here's what I know. When I was having normal views on my show, like, you know, normal type of views coming in, he didn't have an issue with me. But the minute my show starts to get a little bit of increased views, he starts being a dick to me. Now, that's the same thing that happened with you and him, too. I noticed he didn't have a problem with you. You started to get popping off a little bit, and then all of a sudden he hates you. So maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But I do know this. I had somebody in a Discord server tell me that he was bad-mouthing me. And then finally I got the clip today. So, you know, who's the one doing the drama? Who's the one trying to break things down? Who's the one trying to react to things? Last thing I want to say, you know what? I just thought of something after what Team said. I do want to say this. It is not stealing content for me to play some of your content. What you're doing, and I know it doesn't seem like this now, but you're criticizing the majority of YouTube. The majority of YouTube takes things that are happening on the internet and reacts to them in some way. Whether it's PewDiePie, whether it's anyone else out there, you're literally talking to 70, 80% of the YouTube community if you're going to say that no one can grab a clip from anyone else and play it without stealing their stuff. Ironically, the only thing I've played of Jose's is like a 20-second clip that was of his show while it wasn't even his show. The clip was him playing another clip of Nathan Thompson. So, yeah. Yeah, this isn't a market substitute. It is completely transformative. Yes, team, exactly. So and what team means, and team, I swear to God, I'll get you in here next time I'm streaming, bro. I just got to eat something, dude, or I'd get you in right now. What team means by that is if, let's say there's a clip, like with the FEIC, where Nathan Thompson does something, and team goes live and looks at it. But then you notice that my title says, hey, FEIC, this guy, you're still going to, if you like both of us, you're going to click both of those videos because me and team are going to have completely different thought processes, reactions, and live chats that you're going to see around those things. You got me? I'm not ashamed of playing other people's clips. And what do I say? Anybody that wants to play my clips is more than welcome to. Other than him, because he says he's not going to, so he's not allowed to now. I'm just kidding. It's a joke. Look, all I want to do is not let drama go ahead. I don't want drama. I know that there are viewers that watch him, like 2 of them, and then there's like a million of you guys. I'm just kidding. I'm just playing his game with him that watch me, and I don't want you guys feeling at odds or picking sides. Just stop watching his show. All I ask is that you just never watch his show again. I'm a dick. I'm bad, dude. I'm bad. It was a joke. It's a joke. Take us out of here, Busy. Take us out of here. I wasn't joking. Whoa, wait, pause it. Twisted Hippie just said, I wondered why I'm not modded there anymore. Are you telling me he demodded you because you watch my show? Is that what happened? You got demodded? You know what? I'm done. This is my new format. Every show is going to copy his show from now on, and every one of my thumbnails are going to be his thumbnails. from now. This is it. This is what you get to see now when you come here. This is what you get now. This is my new show. I'm keeping it. You notice that I got on the bottom left, press this button to shill. Press this button to start drama. Press this button to steal only the audio. Press this button to copy the content. Press this button to steal all the content. You know, me likey a lot. I got you, team. No, I'll kick anyone that shit talks you. I don't give a shit. Take your drama over to the drama channels, whoever's shit talking, team. Take your drama to the drama. You know, I just showed a drama channel. I just showed you a drama channel. Go watch your drama.
Listen to each other babble.
I didn't.
Yeah, at least I'm not out there.
Question. Thanks, Carlos.
I mean, to be fair, Nathan, George isn't the only person you've run up and stuck a camera in a face and started yelling at. Remember that NASA employee at Starbucks and the other guy in the parking lot?
Hey, Channel Q, you can come stream with me. Come over here and just leave that shit behind. Come stream over here. Stop watching.
I don't know if
shit.
you guys walk around in public or not, but you're on camera.
Anytime, team. I got your back.
It's kind of like a hobby of yours to go run up at people with a camera and start yelling in their face.
You're already being recorded.
Now, please, guys, you have to let me steal some content. It's all I'm good at. You got to let me steal this content and go eat some food.
Yeah, but we're being recorded by cameras that are like away from our personal space and not yelling at us. We're not being recorded by maniacs with cell phones and crazy flat Earth ideas named Nathan.
Go ahead, Carlos.
Go, Carlos.
Yeah, when I met you were civil.
Equivalent.
But
shut the fuck up, Channel Q. Let him speak.
Look,
I haven't gotten to hardly say anything.
We'll go back to the kitchen. Gosh, let me speak.
Welcome to the UNIJG Rockzales.
That's how we like it. What you say has no value. You just insult people.
All right, I need to speak my 20 seconds and I'm not going to stop talking. All right, I'm going to take a minute to speak. All right, so some people is talking like, hey, share this link. And people is sharing a UNIRock link talking about the Nathan of the shenanigans, right? I'm not going to play anything from UNIRock. UNIRock channel is a drama, soap, opera, bullshit channel, worthless. So people like UNIRock, they take content from a real deal panel like this where people...
Yeah, so you're never playing anyone else's content again. Got it?
Come in to talk about the stuff, what's going on. This is not drama. This is where the shit happens, where you guys are real people interacting with each other. Now, there's other channels, they take my content and then they sit behind the content and say, we're gonna talk about what went down in a stream and I'm gonna make it a drama thing. Do you consider this drama? No, guys, think about it. This is where the real people click and join. Who has balls and the pants in their places coming to panels like this to sort the shit out. Now, there's pussies like UNIRock that they take the content and just sit behind the keyboard and it's like, ha ha ha, look, I'm exposing everybody. Fuck y'all. Interacting with each other and the pants in their places coming to panels like this to sort the shit out. Now, there's pussies like UNIRock that they there's pussies like UNIRock. There's pussies like UNIRock. There's pussies like UNIRock that they take the content and just sit behind the keyboard and it's like, ha ha ha, look, I'm exposing everybody.
Wahaha! Look, I'm exposing everybody.
Fuck y'all. Carry on, guys.
Hold on, guys. I gotta check something real quick. Yeah, they're still there. I don't know what he's talking about. All right, y'all. I'm outie, man. I'll be back. What else do you say to this? What do you say to something like this, man? What do you say to it? I don't. Oh wait. I know. Hold on. Hold up. I got this. Okay, ready? Are you ready, Busy? I know you haven't been on the show all night. Are you?
I'm ready, UNIRock. Get me on camera. I'm gonna tear this guy a new one.
Okay, just keep it monetized, Busy. Keep it monetized, or else I'll have to go steal other people's content. Okay. Hold up. Here we go. Hold on, guys. It takes me a second here. Takes me a second.
Steal people's content and your balls up in your pants and the real content's right here on the panel. Yeah, baby.
Great job, Busy. I gotta go eat now. Thanks, Busy. Great job, buddy. Oh, shit. Did he? Oh, fuck. Hold on. Let me see what it is.
Elon Musk says you know it's real. Cause it looks.
For a second, give you guys a second to get
Shut up, Busy. God, you're not funny.
Somebody tell that hippie to take a shower.
Busy. Good Lord, dude. You're never this talkative. Stop. You're embarrassing me.
Elon Musk says you know it's real.
God, he sucks so bad. I can't take it.
If you buy that spiel, you are probably a shill.
That didn't rhyme, you dumbass.
Yeah, you're probably
Busy.
a shill.
God.
Learn to play that damn thing before you put it on your channel.
Down in
Bingo.
my soul.
Busy.
that I can't
Stop it.
contain and I
You're embarrassing me
can't
again.
control. 'Cause I know it's not a ball.
What did he do? Go find somebody's closet to hang out in?
Busy. Stop. God damn.
You better be careful. He'll end up breaking his ribs because they're really thin.
Okay, your jokes are starting to get bad now. You're not even making sense.
Sits alone reading Facebook posts.
Is this footage from inside the insane asylum?
Yeah, it looks like he's got rubber balls. They finally found someplace for him to stay, UNIRock.
Shut up, Busy. God.
She's in a raging debate.
Hey, Nathan, can I see your really cool stomach, please?
You know, if you say that to him, he's gonna do it.
Space is fake.
All right, guys, I'm gonna read this email. I just wanted to, guys. I didn't get any sleep at all last night.
Because you were smoking crack with your buddies all night.
Busy, that's what you do. We all know that. Come on now. You do smoke crack. Stop. All right, guys, I'm gonna...
Hey, wait, one more joke.
Oh, what, Busy? My God, dude.
Did his mom finally rent him a storage locker to live in?
That wasn't funny, Busy. You suck bad, dude. That was not even... God, you ruined the show, Biz. Nice. All right, I'm out. I'll be back. Oh my God. Now, hold on. Wait. Stop sending me this stuff, you guys. You guys, I'll never go offline. What's up, Roden? Good to see you, dude. Remember that scene in Animal House with the guy playing the guitar in the hall and John Belushi smashes the guitar? I only wish. Busy. I'm trying to talk. Stop laughing. Stop. Okay, anyway, ironically, look at the thumbnail. I just got sent this. Look at this thumbnail before I go. Now, that is some flat-out projection right there. Yeah, you guessed it. That's some flat-out project. No projecting. No projecting, Jose. Okay, I'm out for real this time. I'll be back.
You better be careful, UNIRock. When people go on his panel, they have to have their balls in their pants and stuff.
Busy, that's just wrong, Busy. Stop. I don't know what that meant either, but stop joking about it.